Let me now show you what happened in Ukraine over the weekend. These visuals are from Kharkiv. What you see burning is a Ukrainian power station. It was hit by a Russian missile on the 11th of September. The result? Total blackout in Kharkiv and Donetsk regions. There were also power cuts in Zaporizhia, the Dnipropetrovsk and Sumy regions. And here's another site that was hit by Russian missiles. This is Dnipro. The missile hit its city center, also residential buildings and warehouses. This is where Dnipro is located on the map between Kharkiv and Zaporizhia. Russian missiles also hit Mykolaiv. It is a port city in the south of Ukraine, some 60-odd kilometers from Kherson. 9 people were injured in this city on the 11th of September. The missile struck in the early hours of Sunday.
We were attacked at 2:30 a.m. by a missile. It landed here. It blew out all the windows and doors. I've got nothing left except for the toilet.
When the explosion happened, I flew out of my bed and ran here to the yard as fast as possible. There, everything was shattering and buzzing. Then, an hour or two later, everything rustled and something collapsed. The house there collapsed.
Goes without saying, it has been a tough weekend for Ukraine. But if you ask its leadership, the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will tell you to look at the silver lining. Ukraine claims it has been able to make huge gains in its counter-offensive. This operation started in early September, and so far, Ukraine claims to have won back 2,000 square kilometers of land that was occupied by Russia. To understand this better, Russia holds around a fifth of the country. We are talking about over 120,000 square kilometers of land. It controls key towns like Melitopol, Mariupol, Donetsk, Luhansk, Severodonetsk. Ukraine claims to have taken back 20 towns and villages. The most important being the city of Izium. This is where it is located on the map. Russian forces use Izium as its logistics base for supplies to Donbass. And like you can see in this map, this city is like a gateway to Donbass. In other words, it was Russia's stronghold in northeastern Ukraine. And Ukraine says Russian troops have fled Izium, and they have left behind their weapons and other equipment. Ukraine also claims to have retaken Kupiansk, again a key supply hub, also a key rail hub. Now, what does this tell you? Is Russia not capable of holding on to its military gains? Is this a military setback for Russia? Reports say it had taken Russians 6 weeks to capture Izium. It was lost in less than 24 hours.
The advancement of our soldiers in different areas of the front continues. At present, approximately 2,000 kilometers of our territory has been liberated as part of active measures since the beginning of September. The Russian army these days is showing its best ability to show its back. And finally, it's not a bad choice for them to flee. There is no place for the occupiers in Ukraine, and there will never be.
Ukraine is calling Russia's retreat from Izium a breakthrough in the war. Zelensky published footage on social media. It shows a soldier raising the Ukrainian flag in the Chakalovsk village. This is in the Kharkiv region. WION has not been able to verify the authenticity of the video. Western commentators are calling this Kiev's swiftest advance since March. The reference is to the time that the Ukrainian forces had taken to drive away Russian forces from Kiev. Now, what does Russia have to say about Ukraine's big claims? Russia acknowledges leaving Izium, adding that it was a pre-planned regrouping to fight in Donetsk. In other words, Russia says We did not lose Izium, we chose to abandon it. Ukraine, however, does not agree. It says Russia bombed the power station on Sunday, also attacked the civilian infrastructure as a retaliation against Ukraine's military advances. By now, this back and forth has become almost routine. Quick reminder here, it's been 200 days since the war started. In fact, today is day 201, and there is no peace in sight. Ukraine may tell you that this is a turning point in the war, that it is driving away the Russian troops from Ukrainian land. But like we told you earlier, while the gain of Izium may be strategically significant, it does not amount to much at a macro level. So the question now is, where does the war go from here? Situations like these often come with three broad options. One, peace talks. You know, the two sides put their cards on the table and work towards a solution. Option number two, escalation. Both sides choose to up the ante and fight it out. Option number three is a limbo. Earlier today, the Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov was asked whether Russia would be responding to Ukraine's counteroffensive with a general mobilization, put more troops on the ground, or will it prefer peace talks? Listen in to what Peskov had to say.
Сейчас не идет речь об отводе войск. Сейчас идет речь о главном. Это вынудить украинскую сторону прекратить варварские обстрелы.
In other words, where the war goes from here is anybody's guess. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.